it seems we got us another bona fide Caitlin Clark hater, and on top of that, she seems to hate
Shakira Austin has officially stepped into the storm. The Washington Mystics forward didn't just lose a game, she lost her patience. And the target of her frustration? Not Caitlin Clark herself, but Clark's army of fans who showed up in Baltimore and turned a Mystics home game into a fever pep rally. Think about that. A crowd of nearly 12,000 in Angel Reese's backyard, no less, decked out in number 22 jerseys, chanting for a rookie who wasn't even on the court. And Shakira Austin? She didn't take it lightly. She called them out. She questioned their loyalty.
Caitlin Clark fans. Now, I wonder when she gets ready to sign the new CBA that's possibly 4 times higher than the salary she's getting right now, who do you think she believes is the reason that she's getting all that extra money?
She even suggested that if Baltimore can't get behind the Mystics, she doesn't want to play there at all. But here's the twist. The same fans she's criticizing are the reason the WNBA is pulling its highest ratings ever, the reason attendance is booming, and the reason a new CBA could quadruple her paycheck. That's not just irony. That's conflict on a silver platter. So the question is simple. Is Shakira Austin standing up for her team, or is she exposing the jealousy problem that's dividing the WNBA from the inside out?
Asia Wilson? Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Angel Reese? That ain't gonna be it either. Nafisi Collier? Is that who you think it is? Question mark? Is that who you think is helping you get all that extra money? Nah, it's not her either.
Stick around, because this story is bigger than one press conference. This is about the league's future and who really holds the power. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below, because you're about to see the drama unfold. To understand why Shakira Austin's words hit so hard, you have to rewind to how this game even ended up in Baltimore. The Mystics usually play in Washington, D.C. at the smaller entertainment and sports arena, capacity just over 4,000. But when Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever came to town, the demand was so massive that the matchup got moved to Baltimore's CFG Bank Arena, a venue that holds nearly 14,000. That move wasn't for Shakira Austin. It wasn't for the Mystics. It wasn't even for Angel Reese, Baltimore's own hometown star. It was for Caitlin Clark.
Mystic Star is mad. Wishy-washy fan base. She calls them out for Caitlin Clark support. These players are certifiably insane. Have you ever seen so much pettiness and so much jealousy? And what's crazy is so much ego in a league where nobody watches you.
Period. And fans responded. Tickets sold fast. Fever jerseys flooded the stands. And for one night, Baltimore looked less like Mystics territory and more like Indiana's second home. Even though Clark didn't suit up due to injury, her shadow loomed over every empty seat and every fan who showed up just to be part of the spectacle.
Nobody watches you. I mean, seriously. If it wasn't, if it wasn't for this article and you talking trash multiple times, I think I did an article on her, or a video on her several months ago over the same kind of bullshit hate.
Now imagine being Shakira Austin. You're fighting to establish yourself as a franchise cornerstone. You've battled injuries, and you're trying to build something for the Mystics. Yet the arena in your home market is filled with cheers for the other team. That sting? Yeah, it's real. But here's where the drama sharpened. Shakira's frustration isn't just about one night in Baltimore. It's about what the WNBA is becoming, a league pulled between team loyalty and star power. Let's break this down piece by piece.
It's crazy how much these folks believe they actually move the needle. And I told you guys there was some empty, when I did a reaction video to that Mystics win, I told you guys there was some empty seats. Well, there was, and it seems like it was nearly 3,000 empty seats. Despite there being no stakes for the Mystics, who are already out of the playoffs, the September 7th game had an attendance of 11,883, which is quite close to the 14,000 capacity for CFG Bank Arena.
Shakira Austin didn't mince words. After the Mystics game in Baltimore, she said, "I'm hoping we can get some real support from our own fans. If they're not going to cheer for us, then I don't want to play here." That's not frustration in the heat of the moment. That's a player drawing a line in the sand. Think about what that statement really means. She's essentially saying, if you don't love us exclusively, we don't want your love at all. That's bold, because in the WNBA right now, most of the new eyeballs, most of the sold-out tickets, and most of the record TV ratings are tied to one name, Caitlin Clark. Baltimore wasn't unique. This has been the story of the Fever's entire season. Everywhere Clark goes, the crowd follows. When she plays, arenas double or triple attendance. When she sits, the numbers dip.
Well, let's not get cute. They sold out, and then basically 2,900 people said, "Nah, I'm good. If Caitlin Clark's not going to play, I'm not going to show up." I mean, look, the Indiana Fever strung that along for all kinds of reasons. This is one of the reasons. Because they moved games, this and that and the other, so they wanted to keep up the charade till the very last minute.
That's not a knock on the Mystics or on Shakira Austin's talent. That's just reality. But here's the kicker. Instead of embracing that momentum, Austin framed it as a threat. And by doing so, she exposed the tensions simmering across the league. Some players love the spotlight Clark brings because more fans mean more money. Others resent it because it shifts attention away from their grind, their story, their shine. It's not about Baltimore alone. It's about what happens when a single superstar tilts the balance of an entire league. Do you celebrate it or do you fight it? Shakira Austin made her choice clear, and in doing so, she turned one post-game interview into a full-blown referendum on Caitlin Clark, her fans, and the future of WNBA loyalty.
So, Indiana's huge fan base is largely owed to superstar guard Caitlin Clark. Yeah, who is the biggest star in women's basketball by far. I would argue that in current day, she's the biggest star in women's sports, period. Let's just be honest.
Here's where things get messy. Shakira Austin says she wants real support from Mystics fans. But what counts as real? Because when A'ja Wilson came to town, she admitted the DC crowd gave MVP chants to the opposing superstar. She understood it. She brushed it off. Yet when Caitlin Clark's fans showed up in Baltimore, suddenly it was a crisis. See the contradiction? Cheering for A'ja Wilson, fine. Cheering for Caitlin Clark, unacceptable. Why? Because Clark isn't just another great player. She represents something bigger. She's a tidal wave of attention the WNBA hasn't seen in decades. And that spotlight, instead of being shared, feels like it's stealing oxygen from veterans and rising stars who've been grinding for years.
Clark is out for the rest of the year, we know. Yikes. Clark deserves a ton of credit for always taking time to interact with fans. Yeah, I showed that during my reaction. And there was a lot of 22s out there in Baltimore. In fact, guess what? That's Angel Reese's hometown, I think. Baltimore.
But here's the brutal truth. It doesn't matter whether Shakira Austin likes it or not. Those fans in Baltimore didn't come out for the Mystics. They came for Clark. They didn't buy tickets because of playoff stakes or team loyalty. They bought tickets because they wanted to witness the phenomenon. And when Clark didn't play, nearly 3,000 ticket holders said, "Forget it, I'm not going." That's the kind of power that changes leagues.
Expresses anger with Caitlin Clark. Fever support. It seems that not everybody was happy to see so many Fever fans present at Sunday's game, which is conveyed by the comments that Washington Mystics standout forward Shakira Austin.
So Austin's anger, while human, puts her in a tough spot. On one hand, she's voicing what many WNBA players are secretly thinking. Why does one rookie get all the love? On the other hand, by pushing back against Clark's impact, she risks alienating the very fans who are about to help secure her next paycheck. This is the escalation point. Shakira Austin isn't just fighting for fan loyalty. She's fighting against the new reality of the WNBA, a league where one player dictates the atmosphere in every arena she touches. To really understand Shakira Austin's frustration, you have to put yourself in her shoes. She's not some bench warmer. She was the number 3 overall pick in 2022, seen as a cornerstone for the Mystics' rebuild. She's battled through injuries, worked her way into becoming a defensive anchor, and carved out a reputation as a gritty, do-it-all forward. For a young player, she's already shouldering the pressure of being the next big thing for her franchise. Now picture that grind, and then picture walking into your so-called home game and hearing chants for the other team. team, not for an MVP candidate on your side, not even for your hometown rookie Angel Reese, for Caitlin Clark, a player who's barely been in the league for a few months. That's more than an annoyance. To Austin, it feels like disrespect. But here's the technical reality. This is how star-driven leagues work. The NBA didn't explode globally because of balance and fairness. It exploded because of Bird versus Magic, because of Michael Jordan, because of Kobe and LeBron.
Quote, I'm hoping we can get some real support from our own fans and what we have building up, Austin said, per an article from Edward Lee of the Baltimore Sun. She added, quote, we had MVP chance for A'ja Wilson a couple of games ago, which I understand.
Stars drive ticket sales, TV ratings, and sponsorship deals. The WNBA is no different. Right now, Caitlin Clark is that lightning rod. And it's not just about fame. Clark interacts with fans. She signs autographs for hours. She embraces the spotlight in a way few players ever have. That connection is why parents drive hundreds of miles just to let their kid wear a number 22 jersey in the stands. So yes, Shakira Austin feels slighted. But the deeper question is this: should players fight that wave or ride it? Because in less than a year, the league's media rights deal is expected to quadruple salaries. And when Austin cashes her first bigger paycheck, it won't be because Baltimore suddenly fell in love with the Mystics. It'll be because Caitlin Clark made women's basketball must-see TV. That's the uncomfortable truth. And that's why Austin's comments hit harder than she probably intended. They reveal the tug-of-war between pride and progress. This isn't just about one Mystics forward being annoyed at some fans in Baltimore. This is about the WNBA at a crossroads. On one side, you have players who want recognition for the years they've put in, the sweat equity, the grind of building the league brick by brick.
Wow, the pettiness, the jealousy's unreal. But you notice something rather odd? It's okay if they chant for A'ja Wilson, but don't chant for the straight white girl. Yeah, I said it out loud. There it is. God dog it. I said it, Shakira.
WNBA fractures along these lines. Clark versus the veterans, star power versus team loyalty. It risks sabotaging its own growth. Fans don't want to hear bitterness. They want to see competition, drama on the court, not petty shots in post-game interviews. At the end of the day, the broader impact is this: Shakira Austin gave voice to a very real insecurity inside the WNBA. But the league has to decide if it's going to fight the tidal wave or ride it to a future where women's basketball finally commands the respect, the spotlight, and the dollars it's deserved for decades. At the end of the day, Shakira Austin's frustration is understandable, but it also exposes the growing pains of a league on the rise. Baltimore wasn't just a game, it was a snapshot of the WNBA's new reality. Caitlin Clark doesn't just bring fans, she creates them, and that's a power no player, no team, and no city can ignore. Austin wanted Baltimore to feel like a Mystics home game. Instead, it felt like Indiana North, a sea of 22 jerseys drowning out the home crowd. That stings. But here's the truth no one in the league wants to say out loud. Without Clark, that arena wouldn't have been full in the first place. Without Clark, networks wouldn't be lining up billion-dollar media deals. Without Clark, the WNBA would still be begging for attention instead of fighting to control it. So yes, Shakira Austin is angry, and she has every right to be. But anger won't stop the shift that's happening. The WNBA is no longer a league struggling to survive. It's a league exploding into the mainstream, and Caitlin Clark is at the center of that detonation. Players can resent it, or they can cash the checks that come with it, but they can't ignore it, because the fans have spoken. They've chosen their star, and whether the league embraces it or not, the Caitlin Clark era has already begun. So I'll leave you with this question: is the WNBA ready to ride the wave, or will jealousy drag it under? If you love this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on, Shakira Austin's or the Caitlin Clark fans? Let's hear it.